$1.50 off regular ticket prices. So take the money and run to the Shrine Family Circus, February 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Yard. See you there because we're for Buffalo. Bowlers enter the Channel 4 Open Qualifier February 8th. Strike it rich with a guaranteed $5,000 first prize. Squads get rolling at 8:30 a.m. at Brunswick Arrow Lanes. From Western New York's news leader, this is News 4 Buffalo Update with Bob Coop, Jackie Walker, Van Miller, and Don Paul.
Good evening. In the news tonight, another blow to the Western New York economy. 600 workers from the Dresser Worthington plant in South Buffalo face unemployment tonight.
But at this hour, Buffalo homicide detectives are investigating the shooting death of an East Side man, and it happened just a little more than an hour ago on Woodland Avenue. And our Les Trent is at the scene now, and he has a live report. Les?
Rich, the call came out just before 10 o'clock this evening here at 383 Woodlawn Avenue. When Precinct 6 police and homicide detectives arrived here at the scene, they found the body of a 19-year-old black male lying in the street here. Their details are sketchy at the moment right now. Of course, any homicide is tragic, but it's even more tragic when a family member is involved, and that seems to be the case here. Police say that the cousin of the victim is the suspect at this point. There was a bottle found laying along the side of the road, but police do not know at this point whether or not that is related to the case at all. As we said, just to recap one second here, the shooting was here at 383 Woodlawn Avenue, and it appears that the victim and the suspect were cousins. Police are not releasing the name of the victim right now, or releasing the name of the suspect. The suspect has been taken into custody, though. We do know that at this point. We will, of course, stay here at the scene and bring you any more details as they become available. Back to you, Jackie.
All right, thank you, Les. And Buffalo police still haven't located the weapons used in a shootout on Maston Avenue today. Police say two men started shooting at each other after arguing over some money about 9 o'clock this morning. Police arrested 55-year-old Robert Harris and 51-year-old Lon Smith, both of Lemon Street, and charged them with felony assault. 25-year-old Samuel Rose of Eaton Street suffered a superficial chest wound when he was grazed by a bullet. He's in fair condition tonight at Millard Fillmore Hospital.
Another plant shutdown in Buffalo. It became official this afternoon, and it means that close to 600 men and women at Dresser Rand's Worthington Compressor Division will be losing their jobs.
It was a bitter pill for workers to swallow, with the union agreeing in recent years to consolidate jobs and take no increase in salary or benefits.
It's very unfortunate because we got some of the best people working around here that I know of, and we always made our schedule. We always did the best we could, but when you play politics, I guess that doesn't do any good.
The plant is almost 100 years old, turning out compressors for the oil and gas industries and for submarines and space shuttles. The foundry here closes in about 3 weeks, the entire plant in 6 months.
We met today and heard basically what the employees heard, and I think it stinks. Our concern now is what can we do to protect the employee?
Who's ready for another round?
Many of the workers who gathered at a nearby pub this afternoon wondered about their futures in Western New York.
What am I going to do with myself now? You know, without a job. Look over, Western New York is bad in the job area, you know.
The American workforce is literally falling apart. So we're going to have to find how to punch keyboards and make McDonald's hamburgers or something.
Some workers believe the Worthington plant was bought by Dresser Industries 3 years ago with the intention of closing it down, buying out the competition more or less. The foundry work will be shifted to a Dresser Rand plant in Olean, the manufacturing work to a plant in Painted Post, New York.
And Rich, in hundreds of homes throughout Western New York tonight, as you know, workers are asking their families the same question: where do we go from here? In Angola, Bob Goodrich sat down with his fiancée tonight to talk about their future.
We'll get through it.
Well, I'll be out of school. I could go to work.
Start all over.
Bob and Lynn are indeed starting a new life. They're getting married in September. They've been busy with wedding plans and looking after Lynn's 3 children. And now, with Bob facing unemployment in a few weeks, they'll also be looking for work.
It was expected, but it's still shocking. You know, when you hear the final news, it's shocking.
Just make the best of it. If he is to stay home with the house and the children and I go to work, well, we'll do that.
Bob and Lynn spent this evening taking phone calls from friends, wondering if their wedding is still on.
Yeah, we're still going for dresses tomorrow.
But the Worthington shutdown is a double cause for concern in this household. Bob has 7 years at the plant, but his father has been there almost 30 years.
It's going to be tougher on him and a lot of the other older guys in the plant, than more so than me. I mean, I can go out and perhaps get a job and start over, where it's going to be a little tougher on them guys.
Bob is hoping to land a job as a state correctional officer, and unlike many of his co-workers tonight, he's able to look to the future with optimism.
I'm not going to let this stop me. Can't now. I sort of made my plans after the contract in August, and so now we're just gonna carry him right through.
In other news tonight, the NFTA hopes to hold the line with its latest budget plan for 87-88. The new budget seeks to avoid general fare increases and to maintain most bus and rail service. The budget depends on a proposal made by Governor Cuomo that would kick in an extra $7 million from state and local governments. Now, if this proposal goes through, the authority might even end up with a $2.5 million surplus. The man slated to fill the long vacant post of NFTA Executive Director takes over the job in early April. As General Manager of the Toronto Transit Commission, Al Savage comes with an impressive background, and Les Trent visited Savage at his Mississauga home today.
I like Jim Kelly or anybody else. I have a profession, and I'm a marketable product, and they've bought me at the market price.
He will be one of the highest paid public figures in Western New York history, and 56-year-old Al Savage uses the Jim Kelly analogy to justify his $145,000 wage and benefits offer. But can he reverse the image of an NFTA wrought with financial problems and political patronage?
I don't intend to go down and try and change the image. I think it'll change naturally when I've had the opportunity to present my technique of management, which is honest and out front, and we're going to get the job done.
The TTC, or Toronto Transit Commission, is a bus, subway, and trolley system second in size only to New York City's here in North America. As chief officer of the TTC, it took more than just money to lure Al Savage to Buffalo.
They also offered me a challenge, and then I met a lot of people from Buffalo who convinced me that it was a great place to go, that the Buffalo was on a rebuild and going uphill, and that I'd really enjoy it. And I like a challenge. And
Savage is referring to the vast operations of the NFTA, from waterfront holdings to the Buffalo airport. Savage's vast experience includes dealings with the Germazian brothers. As a public affairs commissioner in Edmonton, he negotiated the land deal that led to the construction of Edmonton's mega mall. Any advice for local promoters of a Germazian project?
I think they're very sincere, tough negotiators, and I don't think I could give anybody advice on it. It's just a matter of negotiations and making the objective.
An avid collector of war memorabilia, Al Savage seems ready to do battle with the forces that have besieged the NFTA. In Mississauga, Ontario, Les Trent, News 4, Update.
The father of Challenger crew member Gregory Jarvis filed a $5 million lawsuit today against NASA. Bruce Jarvis accused the space agency of negligence in going for the launch that killed 7 crew members last year. 41-year-old Gregory Jarvis, a graduate of UB, was aboard the doomed shuttle to conduct fluid experiments in space. NASA now has 6 months to respond to that claim. Residents living near the dangerous intersection of Clinton and Town Line roads in Marilla have won a partial victory in their battle to have a traffic signal installed there. The State Department of Transportation says a blinking red and yellow signal will be put in sometime next week. The intersection has been the scene of numerous accidents, including a fatal accident that claimed the life of a mother and son last month. And tonight, one resident says she and her neighbors will continue their fight for a regular signal.
If a car or a truck was coming up Clinton Street, up the incline, and you couldn't see it, you could be in the middle of the intersection, and the car could be right on top of you. You know, I still don't feel it will be safe, even with the blinking light.
And neighbors say they'll hold a meeting on Sunday to map out plans for petitioning the state for that regular signal. Coming up tonight, new reports that Terry Waite is under house arrest.
And a bomb blast kills 2 and injures dozens in Spain.
Hi, I'm Chuck Metzger, the original lazy boy himself, but not when it comes to offering you real value, selection, and service. Visit our showcases. See for yourself our extraordinary selection of lazy boy recliner rockers, sofas, sleepers, and modular furniture. And Metzger's wants to make sure you're sold on us even after the sale. And we'll do it with service, selection, and style.
Shop Metzger's special purchase sale at our North and South location.
I'm proud of this car. It's a real beaut, huh? But it's not just clean on the outside, it's clean on the inside of the engine, too. You see, I take my car to a NOCO gas outlet. All of NOCO's unleaded gasolines now contain DRX7, a detergent additive that cleans the engine and fuel injection system and gives my car great performance, too. So keep your car clean on the outside and on the inside. Use NOCO's new detergent gasoline containing DRX7.
NOCO, Western New York's only locally owned major energy supplier.
What a sale. Now, right now at Amherst Wall Furniture. Yes, right now, you can save up to 30% off our regular low prices on everything in stock. Fantastic savings store-wide, everything, everywhere you look, in Amherst Wall Furniture's magnificent showrooms. Now's your chance to save and save big, up to 30% off. Yes, up to 30% off. What a sale. Right now at Amherst Wall Furniture.
There is much concern and confusion tonight over what has happened to Terry Waite, the man who's been working to free the hostages in Lebanon. One press report from the Middle East says tonight that Waite will turn up in Beirut this weekend. But U.S. sources say Waite himself is now a hostage.
Swede on the stage. U.S. intelligence officials tell CBS News that while they have no hard evidence, they fear that Waite is now a hostage somewhere in Lebanon. Waite has not been seen since he left his hotel almost 2 weeks ago with his Druze Muslim bodyguards to negotiate with terrorists believed holding American hostages. One Muslim leader was quoted by the Reuters news agency as saying, "My information is that Waite will not be returning. He is kidnapped. He has been added to the list of hostages." But U.S. officials denied a claim by the Palestine Liberation Organization that last November, the U.S. used Waite to pay $2 million to secure the release of hostage David Jacobson. This week, the State Department has been trying to convince all Americans to leave Lebanon by invalidating their passports. And if anyone needed a reminder that Beirut is a dangerous place, a car bomb blew up today in Christian East Beirut just as a school bus was passing by. At least 5 were killed, 37 wounded, many of them children. Piecing together what little they know, U.S. officials surmise that Waite is being held by Lebanese gunmen loyal to Iran, who are arguing over whether to use him to wring concessions from the United States. Bill McLaughlin, CBS News, the State Department.
A powerful car bomb killed 2 people and injured 36 others in Zaragoza, Spain today. The blast destroyed cars and shattered windows in a downtown plaza. The explosion was timed to go off when a military bus passed by the crowded plaza. The injured include 24 Spanish Army officers and 14 pedestrians. An Army major and his driver were killed. No group has claimed responsibility, but police say the bombing is typical of attacks by Basque separatists. In the Philippines, leftist demonstrators marched on the presidential palace today and said they are pulling out of the peace talks with the government for good. Mrs. Aquino, who was campaigning for votes today for next week's constitutional referendum, said she wants the peace talks to resume. Also today, there were funerals for some of the farmers, peasants, and leftist protesters who were gunned down last week by government troops during a march on the presidential palace. Jackie?
South Africa will hold its first elections in 6 years in May. But the majority of South Africans will not be allowed to vote. President P.W. Botha announced those elections today for white parliamentary seats, which means that the country's Asian, mixed race, and black citizens will not be voting. The elections are expected to serve as a referendum on South Africa's race policies, which include only limited reforms.
And when we come back, Mr. Don Paul is here with his weather forecast.
And our weekend has a sandwich that's a little seedy, but the inside, the weekend is pretty decent.
Seedy forecast coming up. Also coming up, Buffalo school kids create icy works of art.
At FWS, the savings are bigger than ever. The holiday rush is over. FWS has had time to restock their racks with carpet from the great carpet buyout of Gimbels of New York City. Save as never before on quality name brands like Lee's, Karistan, Firth, and many more. Expert installation and padding, along with rolls and remnants, are available. So dress up your home for less at FWS, 1738 Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo, and 4849 Broadway in Depew.
Come on, it's in the cards at Burger King. Take your pick. That's right. And get a meal for only $2.49. All you got to do is pick one of 2 terrific meals. Okay, tell you what I'm going to do. Pick the plain broiled Whopper combo with large fries and a medium Pepsi, or pick the chicken tenders meal combo with large fries and medium Pepsi. It's your pick. Either the Whopper or chicken meal for only $2.49. You can't lose when you pick a deal at Burger King.
A race car built of snow was one of the treats awaiting some of Buffalo's public school kids today. Compliments of senior high snow sculptors from Maston High School. The snow pieces included a dragon and a centipede, and the seniors, they were afraid that the little ones would wreck their frozen artwork, but instead they turned the pieces on the lawn of the Maston Street Armory into their playthings. And they've probably been turned into big balls of ice tonight, because I understand it's very icy out right now.
Yeah, wherever they haven't salted tonight, it is real slick going. But let's face it, most people who are watching us at this hour, they're not going anywhere. We have to drive home, folks. But where the salt has been going down with the temperature near the freezing mark, it's been easy to keep up with the icing. Let's take a look at how the evening has been going. Our temperatures have fallen only slightly since the 6 o'clock edition. And we are still holding near the freezing mark, but most temperatures now are beginning to drop below that mark. 34 the high, 28 the low. We've had just about 3 inches of snow at the airport. That's an estimate, really, because so much of it has melted. The melting has pretty much stopped now. 7 inches are still on the ground out there. The temperature at the hour is at 31 degrees, but we do have a wind chill. And the barometer is recovering, the humidity 92%. The winds are west at 20, gusting to 26, but that wind gives us an effective temperature of 3 degrees. Pretty effective in making you shiver. The lake water temperature 33 degrees. We gain 2 minutes of daylight for tomorrow. Let me get out of the way and show you this. This is the 90-day outlook in from your government Climate Analysis Center. Now, at the end of November, I told you I differed with it slightly. It was projecting a potentially wetter than normal winter for us, and I thought we'd have a less snowy winter due to, believe it or not, ocean currents in the Pacific, and so far, that's been the case. I have no reason to differ with this model, which doesn't tell you much. It says we've got a 50-50 shot at above normal or below normal temperatures. We're in that indeterminate area. Best chance for colder than normal. February through April is down here in the south, and the best chance for warmer than normal temperatures along the Canadian border. That doesn't mean it's going to be warmer up north than down there. This means compared to the normals. Our storm is still spinning around while a new storm has developed and now moved out toward Islip, Long Island, and heading toward the eastern end of New England, where some locally heavy snow will be falling. We're keeping the light snow, but it has begun to taper off in western Michigan, and by the time you get up in the morning, that will be the case here. Our steady light snow is going to break up and eventually wind down into just flurries tomorrow morning. On the map, we're getting into these colder west to northwest winds, but this is just seasonably chilly air. It is not Arctic cold. And this is the only part of the country that's really pretty chilly. It is abnormally mild out west. They got into 60s, even some 70s out here today. A new Pacific storm moving on board, on shore, I should say. For tomorrow, we will start in the flurries, but during the afternoon, some peaks at the sun will develop, and we'll get into the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. The winds will tend to lighten up tomorrow night, but tomorrow you will still contend with a wind chill factor if you head out. This storm we'll have to keep an eye on for Sunday. It may move to the east and northeast, but I still think we're going to stay precipitation-free during the day. Some of this wet snow or even rain could move in here Sunday night because our high temperature will get into the mid to upper 30s. Really a pretty mild day Sunday and some sun in the morning, so not bad at all this weekend. It's just tonight that's kind of rotten. With this snow moving in from the west-northwest, here's my forecast for you from Weather Watch 4. The roads are hazardous and will stay that way all night, with temperatures slowly falling toward the mid-20s with frequent light snow showers. For tomorrow, look for flurries in the morning and at least a peek at the sun in the afternoon. Windy and cold, but not awfully cold, 28 to 30. Tomorrow night, the winds let up. We become partly clear, the low in the teens. Sunday, some sun in the morning, increasing cloudiness in the afternoon, and mild for this time of the year, mid to upper 30s. Some light snow or rain Sunday night and Monday, and some more may be here on Tuesday.
Back up to 36 on Sunday.
Yeah, that's above normal.
Not bad.
Boy, it sure is. We're lucky. Thank you, Dennis.
Speaking of lucky, here are the numbers. The win for tonight is 5-5-6-7. And the daily game winner is 5-6-5. Here's Van.
Good numbers from the odd tonight. Sabres coming up.
Public notice. Nationwide motel furniture liquidator surplus from recent sales and holiday ends and Howard Johnson's open to the public. Brand new 5-piece sectional pit groups and living room suites from $188. Free layaways. Brand new bedroom suites from $188. Brand new mattress sets, all sizes from $33 each piece in sets. Free layaway today and tomorrow only. Nationwide Warehouse, 2515 Walden Avenue, east of I-90. Phone 681-6757. Nationwide Warehouse.
You know, this is Walt Disney World. But so is this. And this. Disney World, a vacation within a vacation. It's the world's greatest resort.
This is the year to see the world, Walt Disney World.
Doug Smith, our master of illusions, takes us now to the Studio Arena Theater, where he saw a brand new play for the second time.
Rich and Jackie, I saw The Real Thing downstate over the summer, and confidentially, I hated it. They had to drag me off to the Studio Arena to see it again. But guess what? Director Catherine Long found it. The Real Thing.
No, buck spins all around. I feel reckless, extravagant, famous, in love, and I'm next week's castaway on Desert Island Discs.
Are you really?
Head over heels. How was last night, by the way?
Hopeless. I had to take it again.
Oh, very witty woman, my present wife. Actually, I was talking about my play.
Actually, so was I.
Like Buck's Fizz, which is champagne and orange juice, this cast absolutely bubbles and makes you healthy. Playwright Tom Stoppard's humor isn't easy. It helps to come equipped with some sense of literature, but if not, Jim Maison in the lead role will simply guide you through. It concerns actors and playwrights and directors and how their stage life conflicts with the real thing, or which is the real thing. This is at the Studio Arena through mid-February. Speaking of the real thing, actress Ann Newfield, whom you did not see here, is performing this show with 2 broken bones in her foot. And that's a painful reality. Doug Smith, News 4 update at the show.
Any broken bones tonight?
He broke her bone in 2 places, Cheektowaga and Amherst. Oh, never mind, forget it. Hey, the Sabres won tonight. They were great. They got the big 4-pointer at the odd. We have highlights of the game. Buffalo never trailed in this one. Adam Creighton got number 8 from Phil Housley and Scott Arneal, 4:31 of the first on a power play. Then Quebec, the only time they were back in the game, Michel Goulet, number 28 on the power play at 3:53 of the second. But Christian Rutu took care of that with a winning goal at 12:26 from Doug Smith and Dave Andrichuk. On a power play, it was his 9th, and that's all the Sabres needed. They added 1 when Mike Ramsey scored in the 3rd period at 4:52 from Rutu and Mike Foligno, and it was a 3-1 final, and after the game, the first star, Tom Barrasso.
We're not going to back down from them. They came in here saying they were going to try and take the game to us like that. I mean, we've got just as many tough guys as they do, so if they want to play that way, we'll be right there with them every punch.
Their coach said a few things in the paper, and, you know, coming in our town and saying stuff like that in the paper, you know, I don't know, maybe it was the wrong thing for him to say or what, but we didn't take it too lightly, and, you know, it was uncalled for, and if he wants to play it that way, we're willing to do it anytime.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's take a look at the NHL other scores. The Islanders and Washington play a 3-3 tie. Sabres are now just 9 points down in the division. Lockport at Nichols in high school basketball. And we will move now to number 52, Christian Leitner. Leitner had 27 points, 21 rebounds, and 12 blocked shots. Boy, can this guy play. That's Tom Sapio of Nichols, number 20, scoring there on the corner jumper. And then number 42, Gary Voigt, breaks in for 2 of his 13. Lockport got a nice goal out of Bill Conley, who follows up his missed shot here. He had 13, but Nichols, now 11-1, beats Lockport. The final was 77-63. Lots of other high school games played tonight. JFK, a winner over East Aurora. Frontier has now won 10 in a row. St. Joe's beat O'Hara. It was Amherst over Williamsville North by a point. Lakeshore beat Hamburg. Cheektowaga won over Springville. West Seneca East beat West Seneca West. Lackawanna, an easy winner over Clarence. Maple Grove beat Randolph. Trout over Kenmore West. Kenmore East won easily over Newport. Cleve Hill beat Alden. And Maryvale, in triple overtime, defeated Iroquois by a point. The Boston Red Sox have signed Wade Boggs to a new contract. The 3-time American League batting champ got a 3-year deal for $5 million. By signing Boggs, avoided salary arbitration for the first time in 3 years.
That means all the world to me, because I've gone through it the last 2 years, and even if you win, you don't win. The negative feelings that come out, and it's a situation that I'm glad I avoided.
Well, the Oakland A's are loading up with golden oldies. First Reggie Jackson, then Vida Blue, and now this man, Ron Cey. The Chicago Cubs traded the Penguin to the A's today for infielder Louis Quinones. Oakland plans to use Cey as a designated hitter. He will share those duties with Reggie. The double at Buffalo Raceway tonight, 5 and 5 paid $113.40. The trifecta in the fourth, it was hardly worth it, gang. $27 for 2, 3, and 6. Boston beat Indiana by 6 in the NBA, and the Knicks lost at Atlanta, and Philadelphia beat Chicago 121 to 112, and Dallas is a winner, and those are the finals we have. And finally, Tony B., if you would, please roll that tape with the plays of the month.
First of all, the longest one-hand shot, Glenn Rivers of the Hawks, 76-footer. The longest two-hand shot, Albert King of the Nets, 55-footer. The longest shot of the month after the buzzer, Larry Bird, 60-footer, swish. The best desperation off-balance shot while falling on the floor, Terry Porter of Portland. The best dance after an interception in the playoff, Pepper Johnson, Giants against the 49ers. The best flying roll and reaction after a teammate gets a sack, Lawrence Taylor of the Giants in the Super Bowl. The best reaction by a player after being stopped 1 yard short of the goal line, Phil McConkey of the Giants in the Super Bowl. Tough break, Phil. The skiing fall of the month without serious injury, Todd Brooker of Canada. World Cup downhill championships in Kitzbühel, Austria. Brooker, who fell in the same spot the year before, suffered only a broken nose. This is Warner Wolf.
Don't catch an outside edge tomorrow if you're going to. Isn't that something?
My knees hurt just looking at them.
Do they? Your knees look terrible,
Thank
Rich.
you, Dan.
Yeah.
Look at my knees. Here's an update now on one of tonight's newsmakers. Things are looking up tonight for Sandy the Seal. Sandy, who performs for the crowds at the Niagara Falls Aquarium, had been having some problems with her eyesight. So the 6.5-year-old harbor seal helped make history at UB today when doctors there operated on her cataracts. It's believed to be the first such operation for a seal. Sandy had been having some problems seeing her trainers during her act at the aquarium. Doctors operated today on only one eye, and if Sandy adapts well to one-eyed vision, they say another operation will not be necessary.
Poor
Something
Sandy.
else.
Not exactly a private operation today. Well, coming up next tonight, it's Winter Carnival time at Chestnut Ridge.
At FWS, the savings are bigger than ever. You've heard about the great carpet buyout. Now, FWS presents the great bedroom buyout from Stanley Industries. Save big on quality master bedroom sets done in black lacquer, oak, pine, or pecan. Priced from $5.98 a set. Save on everything for the bedroom, including day beds, headboards, and nightstands. Dress up your home for less at FWS, 1738 Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo, or 4849 Broadway in Depew.
Today, people want all the pieces in healthcare coverage.
We want affordable coverage.
One source for hospital, doctor, and major medical.
Complete coverage and easy paperwork.
Blue Shield put all the pieces together in one complete plan with single-source claims processing and custom-designed rates. Blue Shield Whole Health. Ask your employer or call 634-BLUE.
The coldest months of winter are still ahead. There's plenty of bone-chilling weather to come. But here's the best way to stay warm. Right now, Burlington Coat Factory has a huge selection of warm winter coats. And almost every coat in Burlington stock is on sale at the lowest prices of the season. Coats for ladies, men, and children at Burlington's low sale prices. There's never been a better time to buy a winter coat than right now at Burlington Coat Factory.
As we close tonight, we offer you something that you might plan to do this weekend. How about dropping by Chestnut Ridge Park to join the fun of Erie County's 14th annual Winter Carnival? A Gold Dome is helping to sponsor this year's event, kicked off tonight with skiing and snowmobiling by moonlight, no less, and even some space-age sledding. The gang's all there with events scheduled in the park throughout the day on Saturday and Sunday. Is that Mr. Peanut?
That is him. That's him.
What is Mr. Peanut doing at the Winter Festival?
Probably skating or whatever.
He's nuts, you know.
I have the weekend off. Might check that out. Yeah,
You
I
have
think
the
Janice
weekend off?
Lieberman will be in, and it was nice ushering in the new set.
You've had quite a week here.
Yes, and Bob Coop should be back on Monday. And that's it. Now it's time to say goodnight.
All right, Rich. That's our report tonight, produced by Chris Musial and directed by Tony Badalana.
Barney Miller next on Channel 4. Have a good night and a great weekend.
Good night.
Good night.